Think about the last time you ordered something online and didn't get a clear update. You start wondering, did my payment go through? Has it shipped yet? Where's my package? That small gap in communication can create a lot of unnecessary friction for an e-commerce store. Customers lose trust, support tickets pile up, and in some cases, people even dispute the charge because they feel like they're in the dark. And the problem usually isn't that your Shopify store isn't sending updates. It's that emails get buried, ignored, or land in spam before anyone reads them. So in this video, I'll show you how to connect Textmagic to Shopify so you can send automated text messages when something happens in your store. That could be order confirmations, shipping alerts, abandoned cart reminders, or any other customer update you want people to actually see. And here's why this matters. Shopify sends built-in email notifications, but it doesn't have meaningful SMS automation. You can't trigger a text when an order ships, recover an abandoned cart via SMS, or build follow-up sequences, not without a third-party tool. That's exactly where Textmagic comes in. It connects directly to your Shopify order events and sends the right messages at the right moment automatically. There are two ways to connect the two platforms. You can install Textmagic directly from the Shopify App Store. Search for Textmagic, click on it, and you'll be redirected to your Textmagic app. Or you can connect through the Textmagic web platform, which gives you full access to automations, contact lists, segments, and all of Textmagic's advanced features. In this video, we'll use the Textmagic web version since that's where all the automation power lives. Inside your Textmagic account, go to Settings, then Integrations, then select Shopify. This is where the setup wizard begins. It walks you through 4 steps. Step 1, connect your store. Enter your Shopify URL in the format yourstore.shopify.com, then click connect. Make sure to be signed into your Shopify account before attempting to connect. Textmagic will verify the link and confirm your store is live. A new window will open in Shopify to grant access to customer and store data. Next, click install, the window will close, and you will be ready for step 2. If you don't have a Shopify store yet, there's a link right on this screen to get started. Now it's time to map your Shopify customer data to Textmagic contact fields. The basics, first name, last name, email, phone, are mapped automatically. But I want to spend a moment on the consent fields because these are the ones that keep your automations compliant and your targeting sharp. Shopify exposes several consent fields for both email and SMS. Here are the ones worth mapping. First, marketing state. This tells you where each contact actually stands, whether they're actively subscribed, unsubscribed, pending confirmation in a double opt-in flow, or have never subscribed at all. Map this to a custom Textmagic field like Shopify SMS marketing status and Shopify email marketing status. You'll use these to filter who receives your marketing flows and to suppress anyone who shouldn't. Second, marketing opt-in level. This tells you how the consent was collected, whether the customer checked a box with no further confirmation required or went through a double opt-in and confirmed via SMS or email. Map this to a custom field like SMS opt-in level. This is useful if you ever need to demonstrate the quality of your consent to a carrier during number registration. The possible values in this custom field will be single opt-in, meaning they checked a box or submitted a form, no confirmation was required. Confirmed opt-in, that's a double opt-in and it was confirmed via email or SMS, or unknown where the consent method wasn't recorded. Third, consent updated at. This is the timestamp that records the last time a contact's consent status changed. For example, when they unsubscribed or when they re-opted in after a win-back campaign. Map this to a date and time field like SMS consent last updated. This is useful for auditing your records and identifying contacts whose consent may be stale. Fourth, consent collected form. This records where the SMS consent was actually captured, whether it was at a checkout, through a subscribe form, or another touch point. Map this to a custom field like SMS consent source. This is useful for understanding which parts of your store are driving opt-ins and for demonstrating to carriers exactly how and where consent was collected. To create any of these custom fields on the spot, click the drop down next to the relevant row, select Create New Field, name it, choose the field type as text or date and time, respectively, and save. You can also create custom fields on the spot if you want to capture something Shopify tracks that you haven't yet created in Textmagic. If you wish to edit or delete custom fields, you can do so in Textmagic's contact settings. Once your fields are mapped, click Continue. Step 3, choose where your Shopify customers land in Textmagic. A new list is automatically created under the name Shopify customers and your store name. You can choose to go with this one, select another existing list, or create a new one. Click Select a different list and pick your options. A quick heads up, if some of your Shopify contacts already exist in Textmagic, their records will be updated, not duplicated. Once you've picked your list, click Start Sync. Step 4. The sync runs in the background. You'll see a progress bar with a live count. You can safely close this page. It keeps going. Once it's done, click View Synced Contacts to see your imported customers in Textmagic. After the initial sync, everything stays up to date automatically. New Shopify customers are added to Textmagic as they sign up or place orders. Changes in Shopify sync across to Textmagic. If something fails to sync, then fixing this data in Shopify will automatically solve the error and the contact will be updated. For example, if a contact in Shopify does not have an email or phone number, Textmagic won't record the entry. The moment you complete that information in Shopify, the row will automatically be fixed in Textmagic and moved to synced. The sync runs one way, Shopify into Textmagic, so edits you make in Textmagic won't push back to your store. The only exceptions are specific automation actions, which we'll get to in a moment. One practical thing worth knowing, if you ever change your Shopify store URL, switch stores, or need to disconnect for any reason, your existing contacts and lists in Textmagic stay untouched. Nothing gets deleted unless you manually delete the contacts in Textmagic. Also, any active automation flows that use Shopify triggers won't trigger anymore, as nothing will be received from Shopify. However, they will keep an active status. So make sure to reconnect before your next big send. To disconnect, just go back to Settings, Integrations, Shopify, Manage, and click Delete Integration. To reconnect, just go to Settings, Integrations, Shopify, and run through the wizard again. Before you start automating, one important thing, make sure your sending setup is ready. For SMS, you need a dedicated number or sender ID for your region. For email, you need a verified sending domain. If you haven't done either of those yet, check the links in the description. We have full tutorials covering both. And if you're selling to US or Canadian customers, your number needs to be registered before any messages will be delivered. Carriers will silently filter unregistered traffic. Textmagic support team can walk you through that if you're not sure where to start, and Textmagic's AI helps you fill out the registration form and flags anything that could cause a delay before you submit. Now the good part, automations. Inside the automations tab, head to the template gallery. Textmagic has pre-built scenarios for common Shopify scenarios. Order confirmation, shipping update, abandoned checkout recovery, post-purchase review request, and more. If you see a template that matches what you want to do, use it. You'll only need to update the message text, choose your sender, and activate. Building from scratch is worth it when you need something more custom, but templates will get you live much faster. To build a custom flow, click Create New Automation and select a trigger from the Shopify section. You'll see 5 events you can build on. Order created, which fires when a new order is placed. Order paid, which fires when payment is confirmed. Order fulfilled, which fires when the entire order is fully processed and all items are shipped. Order shipped, when it's on the way. Fires once per shipment, so a multi-item order from different warehouses will trigger this multiple times. And finally, abandoned checkout, which fires when someone starts but doesn't finish buying. Each trigger can be filtered by specific products, product categories, order value, or customer fields. So you could, for example, send a special message only when a high value order comes in, or only for a specific product range. Here are some of the best use cases for each trigger. Once a customer creates or pays an order, send them an order or payment confirmation text. Help them easily track their order by triggering an order ship text message with a tracking link. Once the delivery is completed, send a delivery follow-up text and ask for a review, which is a message that will use the trigger order fulfilled. A quick note on abandoned checkout. This trigger is different from the others. Order confirmations and shipping updates are transactional. Customers expect them because they made a purchase. Abandoned checkout messages are marketing. That means you can only send them to customers who have explicitly opted in. If you don't have the consent collected yet, start with the order-based flows first and add abandoned cart recovery once your opt-in process is in place in Shopify. Let me show you what a real flow looks like. I'll build one that sends an order confirmation the moment someone pays, then follows up 2 days later asking for a review, but only if they've opted in to SMS marketing. I select order paid as my trigger, set it to apply to all products and any order value, and save. Then I add a send SMS step and write the confirmation message. Something like, "Hi, first name, thanks for your order. We'll let you know as soon as it ships, store name." I'm using a dynamic field for the first name so every message feels personal. You can use any field available from the order schema or customer schema to insert into your message content and personalize the message in depth. Next, I add a time delay rule of 2 days. And then, this is the important part, I add a conditional split. I set it to filter on accepts SMS marketing subscribed. This means only customers who explicitly agreed to receive marketing messages will get the order review follow-up. Everyone else exits the flow cleanly, no message, no friction. On the yes branch, I add a second send SMS with the review request. "Hi, first name, we hope your order arrived safely. We'd love to hear what you think," and then a review link. And on the no branch, I leave it as contact exits, so contacts without marketing consent don't receive the review request. Before activating the flow in Textmagic, you need to access your Shopify admin and perform a few settings so you make sure your texts go through and don't risk sending duplicate messages. Go to Settings, check out Customer Contact Method, and choose what data you collect at sign-up. Make sure to select phone number or email. Then go to Settings, Notifications, Customer Notifications, and make sure the Shopify Order Confirmation SMS is deactivated. Keep in mind that Shopify's email notifications can't be fully disabled. So for email flows, design your Textmagic emails to complement, not copy, what Shopify already sends. Then I go back to Textmagic's workflow and hit Activate. Done. Every new paid order now triggers this entire sequence automatically. I will now place a test order in my store to confirm exactly one message goes out per event. I just received the SMS on my phone. However, to actually check if the SMS was triggered by the automation, I will go back to Textmagic Automations Flows. Here you can see a full report of the contacts who entered the flow, who are currently in the flow, or who existed. Additionally, any errors that appear will be counted here. We can see one contact, and if we click on it, we can validate that it's my email address. There's one more powerful feature worth knowing about. Inside the rules section of your flow builder, you'll find wait until event happens. This lets the flow pause and watch for any event before deciding what to do next. For example, after order paid, you can add a wait step watching for order shipped with a 3-day window. If the order ships within 3 days, the customer gets a tracking link. If it doesn't, they get a "we're still preparing your order" reassurance instead. This kind of conditional logic catches every scenario and keeps customers informed no matter what's happening behind the scenes. Inside automation flows, you also get 4 Shopify-specific actions. On top of sending messages, you can add a customer tag or note directly to the customer's Shopify profile or tag and annotate a specific order. This is useful for flagging high-value customers for your store team or leaving fulfillment notes, all from inside the same flow without switching between systems. For example, when a high-value order comes in, your flow can send an SMS thank you to the customer, tag them as a VIP in both Textmagic and Shopify, and create a task for your team to add a handwritten note to the shipment, all automatically. Once your flows are live, you can track them in the automation section. You'll see exactly how many contacts moved through each step and where they went. The Logs tab gives you a full history of every action the system took, when it fired, for which contact, and whether it succeeded. If something looks off, click any log entry to see a contact's full journey timeline and spot exactly where things went, or confirm that a specific step completed successfully. For US and Canadian stores, the best place to collect SMS consent is at Shopify checkout, where customers are already entering their phone number. You'll need a separate unchecked checkbox for marketing messages like promotions and offers. When this box is left unchecked, the customer will still receive transactional updates like order and shipping notifications. Pre-checked boxes are not compliant and will cause problems during carrier registration. For customers not going through checkout, like people browsing your store, Textmagic's free subscribe forms let you collect opt-ins anywhere on your site, a product page, your footer, or a dedicated landing page. Those subscribers are added straight to your Textmagic contact lists. In the US, commercial SMS is restricted to 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. in the customer's local time zone under TCPA. Textmagic's flow scheduler respects time zones automatically, so messages never fire at the wrong hour. And if a customer replies stop, Textmagic handles that automatically and removes them from the relevant list. Messages sent through Shopify automations are charged to your Textmagic balance just like any other message. Fully prepaid, no surprise invoices. Rates vary by destination country. Shopify automations are available on all Textmagic plans. Your plan affects the volume discounts you get on messages sent through Textmagic, not access to the feature itself. For the full breakdown of how billing works, check out the dedicated billing video linked in the description. Let me quickly recap what the full picture looks like once this is set up. A customer places an order. Within seconds, they get a confirmation text with their order number and your store name. When it ships, they get a tracking link. When it's delivered, they get a follow-up. If they don't complete checkout, they get a cart recovery message, but only if they opted in. And if they reply at any point, the conversation shows up in your Textmagic inbox, ready for your team to handle. All of it runs automatically, no manual sending, no copying and pasting between tools. That's it. Connect your store in 4 steps, map your consent fields, pick a template or build your first flow, and your post-purchase messaging runs itself. Click the link in the description to sign up for free, no credit card needed, and try the Shopify integration today. Hit subscribe for more tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.